How's it going, losers? Today I'm going to be talking about other losers and giving you my list of the worst fitness influencers and people you should avoid watching and avoid listening to because they either talk pish, they're arseholes, or they're a combination of both. I'm obviously going to give you a valid reason why I don't like each person, and you might like them, and if you do, I don't really care. You can be a wee bitch boy and show your support for them in the comments and boost my algorithm. So I'm going to get a group of people out the way first, and that is the fake natty brigade, and basically the arseholes that lie about taking steroids to sell their plans and all that bullshit when they're just like geared out their head. And that's really the main reason why I don't like them. And there's plenty of them on this list that just talk absolute shite on top of lying about taking the steroids, so that's like the double whammy. So in no particular order, the fake natties to definitely avoid because they're pricks: Mike O'Hearn, Matt Does Fitness, Simeon Panda, Jeff Side, Mike Thurston, Athlete X. And it's a shame because Athlete X actually gives out good information sometimes. Some of it's shite. But I don't know why he just doesn't just say, I am 50 years old and I take whatever I take. Blows my mind, I do not know. Now, the one notable person that I've missed out there, because I think he probably deserves a category all on his own, and that is the Liver King. And obviously there was a big scandal about a year ago that it came out that he was taking steroids to absolutely nobody's surprise, and the reason that I'm not including him in this is for two reasons. Number one, he leaned into it so hard, and he is just like the definition of a walking contradiction and hypocrite, and I just can't stand people like that. And he still bangs on about all his liver shite while still being full of stuff, and it's actually so stupid it annoys me, and I know it probably shouldn't, because the whole reason he lied in the first place was to get the attention and idiots like me talking about it. And the second reason is when he did eventually get outed, that his whole defence was that he'd done it to try and stop people unaliving themselves. And like, in terms of just a pathetic, cowardly bullshit excuse, that's probably the worst one that I've ever heard. So get it so far up him, he's a prick. Next one is the man of the moment just now, and I have to admit he is quite funny in a stupid way, and that is Eddie Abu. You literally can't go more than 2 minutes without seeing him these days. It's funny because in principle I don't actually disagree with what I think he could be saying, and you know, avoiding processed foods and trying to have as natural whole foods in your diet as possible. I can understand that, but he takes it to the absolute most ridiculous extremes, and the best bit about it is when he's actually backed in a corner and he's left in his own devices to try and actually explain something, he doesn't actually say anything. He just goes fucking and shite and bullshit, and he just like swears to like cover up what he doesn't know in the middle of an explanation. And then the best bit is he'll just like quote random studies and pull random facts in that are just like totally fabricated and made up, which is absolutely brilliant. I think that is tremendous. Watch him for a bit of a laugh. Do not listen to any information he actually gives out. V Shred's the next one, and if you've been online in the fitness space for any length of time, you'll have definitely seen one of his shitty adverts. He's just a con man. He is the face of like a bigger organisation, if you didn't already know that. And every advert he puts up, there's a lie in it, or it contradicts like one of the other adverts that he puts up, and what he says works and doesn't work and what he done, and the whole thing is just a big Ponzi lie scheme shite. Whatever's promised you in any of his adverts, you're not getting, and he's just some pretty decent looking guy, in all fairness, that's the face of some big shitty organisation that's just pumped a lot of money into trying getting a lot of money pumped back into it. A lot of pumping going on. A fitness influencer who you do need to make sure that you listen to though is my good self. So make sure you like the video, subscribe to me, it helps me out, costs you nothing, and you're actually going to get good quality information, unlike the rest of these dorks that I'm talking about here. Kai Green, I don't particularly like him. I used to like him, and he was very much used to try and be like the kind of everyman, like when the Generation Iron came out, the first film, and he was like shown as a man of the people, and that was his whole thing. Pretty much ever since then, I feel like he just turned into a massive prick. All he ever does is bitch and moans, and I've also heard a couple first-hand experience where people paid to go to seminars and to train with him, and it was a substantial amount of money. He rocked up late, he was a prick, he left early, and apparently just wasn't a very nice guy. Unfortunately, even though I wasn't there, I can't now not get that out of my head, and yes, he is another one on the shit list. Now, the next person is someone who I do want to like, but he just comes across as a bit of an arsehole. I mean, when you listen to him talk training enough, you'll realise the amount of actual contradictions of things that he says to do and not do. It's a shame, because I do actually want to like him, and he's actually got a pretty good story, and that's Eddie Hall. I was really happy for him when he won the World's Strongest Man, and I'll give him his due. He said he was winning the World's Strongest Man, and that was him done. For the most part, he stuck to his words. I feel like he's very much caught between being an athlete who wants to like genuinely just help people and share his experience and stuff, and being a social media influencer and doing what it takes to get clicks and likes. And that's why I think he just talks a lot of shit. And he can be a bit of an arsehole, or he comes across as a bit of an arsehole anyway, but I feel like if you got him one-on-one, he would actually be pretty sound. If I ever meet him, then I become bigger than him. Who knows? Maybe I'll find that out for myself. But Eddie Hall, he's kind of made his way on the shit list, unfortunately. Now, the next one you won't be surprised to be on this list, and that is my arch nemesis, the Batman to my Joker, the Rock to my Stone Cold, the King Kong to my Godzilla, because I'm obviously bigger, and that's Mr. Science Gimp himself, Jeff Nippard. To me, he is the absolute antithesis of what training should be. For me, you should go in the gym and you train hard and you push yourself and you have fun and obviously have a little bit of strategy, but for the most part, try and shut your brain off and just try and push yourself as far as you can go and use that training as a vehicle for other areas in your life. And we're going in a bit of the kind of philosophical realm there. But basically just go in, have fun and train hard. Whereas he takes something that should be pretty simple and overcomplicates it with so much information, and I can't deny his ability to retain and hold and recite information is great, as far as we're aware, because obviously he may or may not have scripts that he reads off in his videos or get somebody else to give him the information, but we'll pretend he's got all stored in his head. But it just makes it all so boring and overcomplicated and takes the most simplest of things and makes it sound so difficult. You could actually take something that he puts in several paragraphs in the space of a few sentences. Like, genuinely, it blows my mind how much people can actually take to him in that style of, I would call it coaching. I don't even know if he is a coach. But yeah, he is the king of the textbook shaggers and science dorks, and yeah, for me, it's an absolute no. If you like that style of information and training, yeah, good, go and get your ears bored off. But if you want to be a shagger, then just stay here and watch me. And I'll finish off with another group of people who I don't necessarily think are bad people, but that annoys me that they have a platform to talk about training, because the reality is they know absolute fuck all, and that is actors, your Rocks, your Chris Hemsworth, I mean, the list could go on and on and on. And what kills me, apart from the fact that they just lie about taking steroids, and obviously they are like fake natties in themselves, but you actually watch the training they do, and when they try and talk about training and dieting, and it's so evident that they know absolutely hee-haw about anything. And if you ever go and watch one of their shitty trainers, which, by the way, I know I'm a celebrity, but I don't know how you can be a celebrity trainer. Somebody please let me know, because it looks like it would be the easiest and best job in the world, because none of them have got a clue what they're on about, and the workouts are absolutely rubbish, and it really wouldn't be that hard to be better than them. But anyway, but they know absolutely nothing about training. Please believe me, nothing. There is obviously going to be some exceptions that do know how to properly train, but they're few and far between. Any celebrity workout you read, anything they said they'd done to get in shape, anything they said to get in diet, and their chicken, broccoli, rice, and 2-a-day workouts, and some of the stuff that they do in the gym, and people eat it up, and it actually kills me. And it's literally just because they're rich and famous and because they do have good physiques that they've earned through steroids, that people think, oh, they know what they're talking about. And honestly, that really just, I mean, the fake natties kill me. That really just sinks my soul. So please, if you ever see an actor or a celebrity talking about how they got in shape, unless it's somebody who has actually got a sporting background, I can't remember what I was saying there, but basically actors and celebrities know fuck all about training. So that's a video. You've now had the best, you've now had the worst. And people have told me to do this after I've done the first one, and if you people like this, then I may do another one and update this another time, or maybe talk about somebody a bit more specifically if I see them talking nonsense. Social media is linked below. Go and follow me on Instagram. My coaching inquiry form is also below. If you actually want a coach that knows what they're talking about, that actually gets results to back that up, fill that out. It'll take you all of 2 seconds. And shite is also linked below as well if you want some free information that's actually going to help you and give you some value, unlike all the nonsense that these clowns I've been talking about spew. Catch yous in the next video.